The Lo-Fi Horror Guys Growing on Your Live Season 14 is sponsored by Toxic Coffin. Toxic Coffin is two horror-loving dudes, Lance and Steven. They make horror and Halloween goods to explode your brain. Each shirt is curated with its own experience to make you stoked on your favorite movie or time of year. Follow Toxic Coffin at toxic_coffin on social medias or at their shop at toxiccoffin.com. Once again, at toxic_coffin or at their shop at toxiccoffin.com.
All right, Dave, how's it going, man?
All right, how you doing, Eric?
Awesome. Thank you so much. First and foremost, for taking the time today, man. This is huge. Thank you. I appreciate this.
Thanks. I appreciate it. It's exciting.
So, yeah. You know, it's been really fun, and you know, this month especially has been special. You know, to me personally, just from myself playing drums, and some of the cats that I've been able to have on, yourself included. So very cool, and I can't wait to dig into some of this stuff today.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
All right, so here on Growing on Your Live, basically I have an introductory question that we start off with. The remainder of the interview is about you and your craft, your career in music, and then I have one finale question I wrote just for this episode. So if you're all comfy and you're ready to go, my man, we'll get this bad boy going.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so first off, let me say my wife and I do a little traveling. If we're coming through local to you, and we were to stop by Go Vegan Go. Tell us about a favorite of yours that you would recommend to us, as well as, maybe how did this item come onto the menu?
Well, that's our food truck, which is inactive at the moment, but we do have a brick and mortar now called Hang Space, which does carry most of the things that we had on the truck. And
okay.
I guess the thing that people seem to like the most is a creation called the Not So Pad Thai Fries that April had come up with, my partner, my girlfriend.
Sweet. Okay. Okay.
It's fries, and it has hoisin, go-go sauce, which is like vegan mayonnaise and sriracha mixed together. And then we have more sriracha, and then there's white onions, red onions, cilantro, scallion, crispy onions, bean sprout, and peanuts. And man,
damn, sounds sick.
Yeah, it works really well together. It's really nice.
Okay. And I know that you've mentioned in different interviews too, as far as not being fully vegan, but where did you get into, trying like some of the dishes that really kind of, push you into like, man, there's some good stuff here?
Well, I've always been crazy about food. Like my whole life, I always wanted to try as much different stuff as I can. Mm-hmm. And traveling and playing music allowed me that opportunity. And,
nice.
as my interest changed and life moved on, I adopted a plant-based diet about 2 years ago, quit eating meat maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. I could be wrong about that, but I'm happy with it. My body's happy with it. And
yeah.
The thing is, I can eat all these crazy meals that are mock versions of heavy meat meals before I play now and play drums, and I don't feel weighed down or crappy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I guess I've never thought of that before. Yeah. I mean, you could have something where it's not going to completely weigh you down and you're like, oh, I have a whole other half hour to do.
Yeah, exactly. I feel better. The taste is still there. And, that's what works best for me. It might not work best for everybody else,
Yeah, totally. My wife is more or less, she's more or less vegetarian, vegan with a lot of things too. And so it's kind of expanded different things that I've tried. And there's been a lot of stuff that, she's introduced me to that I'm like, whoa, this is actually pretty damn good, whereas I probably wouldn't have tried it, beforehand. But there's been a lot of different things that have been introduced, and it was sick, seeing the food truck. And now you said you have a brick and mortar going. So hopefully we can get over there. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, I'd love to have you. Come on down.
Oh, yeah. All right, so digging in a little bit to the music with you. Growing up, what were some songs, bands, maybe even an album that resonated with you, possibly before you even knew that you were interested in music?
Well, my aunt got me into music. My Aunt Mary, she bought me my first 2 cassettes, which were the Pretenders. I think it was the Greatest Hits, and then Men at Work. Business as usual.
Nice.
She got me those for Christmas one year, and that's where it all kind of kick-started from there. And then I found out about AC/DC and went wild.
Okay. Was it more of the music at first that really kind of like stuck with you, or was it kind of the melody, the singing? Like what was it about these, these albums or these songs that really stuck with you?
I guess the drivingness of it, the rockness of it. I always have gravitated more heavier things, and as life went on, it kept getting more extreme and extreme, and and the tale from there.
Yeah,
But
totally.
yeah, AC/DC was the starting point.
Okay, all right, that's where it got a little bit heavier.
Yeah, that's where I loved. I was like, oh my god, I love these guys. They were my favorite. I played when I got a drum set. I played it constantly. That's how I learned.
Oh, okay, nice. I was going to kind of get further into that a little bit here, but so that was where more or less your driving force from playing was listening to AC/DC and practically like playing along with those albums.
Yeah, it was the perfect. They weren't too challenging for me. They were easy to understand, and looking back on it, Phil Rudd's a genius. He's a human machine.
Totally.
He's the perfect drummer to play along to. He developed great timing and have fun while you're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things where maybe it's not the fastest or it's not the most, crazy technical parts, but a lot of those times, if you're used to playing that type of style and you go back and you want to play along with a band like that, or, like a Weezer or something like that, and you go to play that stuff, it's like, all right, I have to, train my mind to like slow down for a second. It's a different approach.
Totally.
So when your interests, kind of develop and, you're going to record shops or you're going to CD stores and you're buying stuff, tell us about an album that maybe you weren't even familiar with the band, that the cover art just drew you in. You had to grab it and see what was going on there.
Yeah, I actually, it's perfect because Nuclear Assault Game Over is the one. And I just did. I just did something with Revolver about that a few months back, and we would go to this record store in Hazlitt called Now and Then Records, and we'd pick out stuff based on the cover. Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, all that stuff. But Nuclear Assault was the one where like, wow, look at that! It was really bright colors, and it was like nothing we'd seen before. And then we turned it on, it was like nothing we heard before. Yeah. It always has a special place in my heart, that album.
Yeah, absolutely. It was always such a gamble, even kind of like in a sense with like movies, going to a video shop and, you see something with the coolest cover ever, and it's like, okay, this could either make my weekend or actually, ruin it.
Yeah. Now that I think of it, another band that had really great art that made me buy it solely based on the artist, The Accused.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I bought all those on cassette, and then when I saw the maddest stories ever told vinyl, I had to have it immediately. I still have it, actually.
Oh, sweet, nice. Okay, so a lot of the stuff that you bought early on, you still have with you.
Yeah, you know what? I only bought a couple records back in the day. I wasn't really into records. I was more of a tape guy, and then I got into CDs. But the last few years, say 4 or 5 years ago, I started getting into vinyl, and I wish I would have been collecting it the whole time because I would have had so much cool stuff.
Yeah,
But totally. It sounds so great. I can't believe the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. There's certainly a quality. There's the different albums that you can listen to over the years, and then you listen to it on vinyl. It's like, man, I don't even know if I've ever even heard this shit.
Yeah, actually,
not for real.
Rush, Moving Pictures on vinyl. Holy moly, unbelievable. So great.
Sick. Yeah.
And then the new AC/DC too is incredible on vinyl.
Oh, see, I haven't heard it yet. I've listened to the album, which was, I don't want to say surprisingly, but really good. That was solid.
I love it. I knew what I was getting, and I'm psyched on it all the time. But on vinyl, it sounds like it was made for vinyl. It sounds fantastic.
Oh, sweet. Okay, I'll have to pick that up. You mentioned tapes. Now, how big was tape trading? How big was that with you?
Oh yeah, I was knee deep or waist deep or neck deep in that scene in the early 90s with death metal with Human Remains. I still talk to a bunch of people that I traded tapes with back in the day.
Do you ever have anything that you wish that you didn't let go, that you had made a trade and you're like, fuck, I missed out on this?
Yeah, no, I didn't really trade stuff like that. We just traded like
swapping.
Yeah, copies of cassettes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay,
but I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I still wish I had my original Ripping Corpse comic book T-shirt with the guy ripping all his intestines out. That's what I wish I still had.
Damn. Yeah, that sounds sweet. I'm not familiar with it, but that sounds awesome. That's what the comic's called, is Ripping Corpse?
No, the band was Ripping Corpse. That's the band that changed my life.
Oh.
Completely.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay. So how did you get introduced to them then?
They're a band from a couple towns over, and a buddy of mine, Mike Evans, went and saw them at this place called the Underground in Rumson. It was a church basement, and I was
Nice.
like, oh my god, these guys are like a couple towns away, and they're better than anything else I have right now. More powerful, more talented. Like
Got
when
ya.
I heard the Splattered Remains demo, this in 89, I think it was, and that
Okay.
just changed my life completely.
Damn. Yeah, that's I mean, it's cool to be able to have certain things like that where it's like I'm never going to be the same after this.
Yeah, I still have all that stuff. I never got rid of that.
Sweet. That rules. That rules. So now you mentioned as far as with getting into, AC/DC and, playing, kind of honing in some of your drumming craft. Tell us about getting your first kit. Where did that come from?
Oh, my parents. It was a no-name red sparkles drum kit, 4-piece,
Nice.
and
Nice.
I still have the snare drum.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the rest of it, I don't know what happened to it. Lost somehow.
This ended up somewhere.
Yeah, I wish I still had it, but I wish I thought a little bit more back then of holding on to stuff. But
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
totally. Now, with your snare, do you ever like toss that on the kit and kind of mess around with that, or is that kind of just like up on a shelf in a mantle or something?
yeah, it is up on the shelf, and then the red sparkle's gone. I want to rewrap it and redo it. I'll get to it one day. I keep threatening to do it, but it just doesn't happen.
Oh, okay, okay. What were now you mentioned with ACDC? Were there any other things as far as bringing some of the technicality into your playing?
Yeah, Judas Priest, British Steel. I heard that and went nuts and played that all day long.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
so
Nice.
yeah,
What?
Maiden. It's basically AC/DC, Priest, Maiden, and then I heard Slayer, and it was game over. I just played Rain and Blood over and over.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Dave Lombardo. I feel like he's a big part of shaping a lot of drummers for sure too.
Yeah, he raised the bar higher than anyone, but no one's been able to jump over it in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. So I know, and I saw you were playing earlier. Is it Satanic Planet?
Yeah,
Am I
yeah, he's
saying
on
that?
that as well.
Yeah, he was. I know. I don't. I have to check it out again because I heard one of the songs and it was not completely not what I was expecting. But I've got to check that album out because I've been seeing a lot about that shit.
Yeah, play it loud. That's where it has the most effect.
Okay. Okay. Driving by a church or something. Oh
Yeah,
boy.
yeah, yeah.
So now I wanted to dig into a couple of things, as far as maybe first or earlier memories, out of a different, couple of categories here, maybe first, like joining and making your first band. What are some things that come to mind as far as maybe the anxiety out of it, or, were you overly excited? How did you meet these people?
Well, that's a good story because these guys, Francis and Phil Holland, had moved to town from up North Jersey, and they moved to town, and they turned me on to so much stuff that I had no idea about, and they totally changed. They changed my life in an aspect too. They turned me on to Minor Threat and the Minutemen, Dinosaur Jr.,
Mm.
Big Black, No Means No. They're from more like
Okay.
a punk background, and I learned a lot from them. And the first band I did was with them. We were called the Remnants. We were like a Ramones rip-off like type thing, and we played their mother's. Their mother had remarried, and we played the party.
Okay. Did you have like some covers too, or was this all like original
It was
stuff?
all originals. I wish I remembered all that stuff. We never recorded it or anything like that. It was way before we even thought about doing anything like that. It was
Oh, okay.
fun.
Okay. Did it stick around for a while? Like, did you play shows with it too, or was
No,
that
no,
just kind of a?
that was the only thing.
Oh, okay, okay, all right. So beyond that, so you have the remnants, and then where does it go as far as actually playing shows? Having a band, kind of maybe traveling around the city, out of cities. Where did that come into play?
The first thing was called Well Aware, which was a hardcore band, and then Mike Coleman, the guitar player, is the guy that actually played me that Ripping Corpse demo.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He had it.
Okay.
And then at the same time, I was doing Final Judgment, which turned into Human Remains. And Human Remains was the first band to go out of town.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah,
Where
1990, we played Rochester, New York.
Nice.
And
Okay.
I still have lifelong friends there from that show.
Nice. That is, and so what was that just like a standalone show? Like you guys just went up to Rochester and came back, or did you do like kind of like a
Yeah,
circle and weekend thing?
yeah, we just did that. We didn't really know what we were doing, you know, and then we did weekends. It just progressed from there. Kept going out more and more.
Hmm.
We'd go to Rochester a lot, and then the
Okay.
Rochester bands would come down, excuse me, and play with us. And it was Madricore, and then what turned into Lethargy, which was Braun and Bill, who are now
Oh
in
yeah.
Mastodon.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Oh
so I've
shit.
known those dudes forever.
Okay. Wow.
We had a
What?
lot of fun.
So was this the same band then that you ended up actually taking on the road for the first time?
We actually didn't go on the road. We did. I think the furthest we ever went was Tennessee for some Tennessee metal festival. And
Oh, sweet.
We played Ohio once too, but we never did. I don't think we ever did more than 3 shows in a row on a
Mm,
trip.
okay. What? So when touring came involved, where did that come into play for you?
I think the first band that I actually did a tour with was Discordant Axis.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
It was like
Nice.
5 or 6 shows with Melt Banana on the East Coast.
Yeah. Yeah. Melt Banana. That's definitely an interesting story. I've heard lots of different things on just interviews and things that you've done too. But yeah,
Yeah, great
what an
band.
interesting band.
Yeah, I did 7 full tours with them after that.
Mm-hmm. Because
That's the first band I went to Europe with. Like the first super long extended tour was definitely with them.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now, when going over and doing something like that, did you get so far away from home and, realize for the first time that you forgot like all this essential shit, or were you pretty well prepared for being?
I was prepared. Well, I overpacked first of all. I was so overpacked. I had this gigantic bag they called dead body bag because it was this huge bag. I had way too much stuff. It's like I didn't know, and it was pre-EU. There was all these different countries and different monies, and uh, it was weird. It was the first time I ever done anything like that. It was me, 4 Japanese people, 2 German people. I didn't know anything. It was like a real eye-opening experience. And
Mm-hmm.
9/11 happened when we were learning songs in Berlin. So it was a weird time to do everything for sure.
Jeez, yeah, I can't imagine. I know I'd heard a little bit, that you had mentioned with that too, and I was just trying to think of, imagining. I mean, especially like even in the U.S., but being overseas and then kind of being put in that situation. People hearing you speak English and different things, probably
Yeah.
a tough spot, I'd imagine.
Here we were warned to not speak English in public. It was weird, man. It was scary because
Jeez,
that nothing ever happened like that before. So
did you
and then
just
you get
act like
all.
you were a mute, or?
Yeah, well, I was traveling in a weird artistic small circle, so I don't think I really had much to worry about. But it was
Oh,
all
right.
over the news. Don't speak English in public. They're looking. There's all like terror propaganda news shit. But I'm sure some of it was true.
Oof, man, dear Lord. So I guess moving from that, as far as in the earlier days, even up until now, what has kind of been a pre-show ritual, if you will, before going out and playing? Maybe something that you started off with, and then after all the years that you've been playing, have now developed into what gets you ready for playing.
I eat chocolate.
Really?
Yeah, coffee and chocolate. I'm nuts about chocolate.
Is it like a NHL thing, like where if you grow your mustache, your team's gonna go to the playoffs, or?
No, I just like chocolate, and it puts me in a good headspace, and I like it. I do the rudiments and the warm up and all that stuff. But I always like chocolate because it gives me a good feeling, something I love before something else I love.
That is so sick. Oh my
And
God.
past 15 years or so, it's always been a shot with Tony too. Let's do
Okay.
this. Knock it back, and then
Nice. Is there any particular chocolate? Or is it just
dark
man? Okay. All
dark
right.
chocolate.
That'll bring some energy. Yeah. I mean, on top of the coffee, shit.
Yeah,
You're ready.
yeah. You gotta get pumped up.
Yeah. Okay. Damn. That's awesome. That's
If it's
fun.
a really big, if it's a really big show and I have some, some nerve issues, I'll chug a beer.
Oh, okay.
Relax a little bit.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's, it's been funny too, because like I believe it was Armand. I was talking to him, when I interviewed him and kind of asked, because that's one of those things where I've had times, going up to go play and, I have a beer, and I have times where I go up and I have water, and it's like, it's kind of a vice versa thing, it just kind of seems like it's back and forth. But there's some people that are like, I can't touch a drop of alcohol until after I play. Otherwise I'll be messing up the whole set.
Yeah, I was like that for a long time too. Sometimes I could deviate from it.
Oh, okay. But the chocolate and the coffee, I like that. That's a good one.
But drinking beers with Armin before the set is also very fun.
Yeah. Get up there and do what you got to do. Yeah, I like that. So with the first project I wanted to touch on a little bit here, Bent C. Tell me, how did you come to meet Dirk and become involved in the Instagrind series there?
I met Dirk. He contacted Nuclear Blast to have me fill in for him for soil work on one show on the Ozfest, and we've been friends ever since.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, we've kept in touch. So, and once, I actually hit him up. I was like, "Hey, man, I see you're doing all this stuff. I'd like to sing a song. That would be kind of cool." Like,
oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, and he's like, "Well, why don't you play drums on it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, great." I love Dirk. Dirk's the man.
Man, yeah, and that series is so cool. Just how like it's getting released and everything, and each song has a different kind of lineup of cats, and some with Shane, and but that thing is so cool. Then I see the latest one, that you're playing drums on. I'm like, holy shit! All right, let's bring it to the bringing back the old blasts. I loved hearing that. That's sick.
Yeah, it was fun. It was cool to do. I'm glad I did it, and I'm glad he asked me to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool to dust off the old cobwebs on the blast beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I was in a little better shape, but I think it came out okay.
Yeah, it came out awesome. What was your initial approach like when you got the guitar track? Did he have like a drum idea, planned out for it, or did you just come in and?
Yeah, I just recorded the drums and sent them to him.
Really? Okay.
In my head. Yeah, I have a lot of experience doing that with Chris Dodge when we did the East-West Blast test.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So it wasn't really hard. We just make some shit up and record it and send it to him.
Oh, okay.
I think Dirk extended a part or something like that. But it's pretty much that's it.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so you had some experience as far as like the recording and sending that off. It wasn't anything foreign as far as not being in the same room with someone.
Yeah, yeah. East-West Blast Test. Chris Dias, I did that years ago. I think it was like 20-something songs where I just did stick clicks and played whatever I want that many times and sent it to him, and he put everything on top of it. It worked.
Damn. See, I know the band. I didn't know that story behind that though. Shit, yeah. That's fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Damn. That's cool. So, and then with that, you wrote the drums first and foremost, and he came and wrote behind it?
Yeah.
That's sick. I'm gonna have to look further into that. I'm a little embarrassed.
It's fun. You should try it. Try it with a buddy. It's fun. Damn, you never know what you're gonna come up with.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's sweet. I'll have to look further into that too. It's been a little while, but yeah, that was definitely a sick project. I love that. A sick band for sure.
Thanks.
Under Attack. This is the next one I wanted to touch on here. You guys have a new 7-inch coming out, Preservation's Crash. That's out in August, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, August, and it's out on 31G, who they were, very cool, and I was fortunate I got to listen a little preview of that. So sick. First off, I wanted to ask a little bit about, incorporating more blasts on this. That wasn't something on previous recordings that you'd done with this band, right?
No, things are going to change as you progress, and, it's only you do whatever you want. It's only going to get better the more you do it. And we had plenty of time to do it last year. We weren't really doing much, so I think we recorded over 20 songs. We have like 3 or 4 records in the pipeline.
Oh, shit. Oh, damn. That's awesome.
All splits. Yeah, we were pretty busy. That's just one thing that I did over the year. We did a lot of music last year.
And I mean, because I know you have something with Municipal Waste also. They've got a new album that you guys have been
Yeah, it's done.
plugging a little bit. Was there anything else that you were doing as well, or was it just the two bands?
We did that. I did a couple, like cover videos, and then Phil and I wrote a whole black album together. Well, he wrote most of it. I just drummed on it.
Damn, man, that'll be sick. That's very, very cool. So I mean, I guess kind of bringing it back, with this Under Attack here. You had mentioned that you guys have written over like 20 songs for this then, and these were the initial like I think 7 or 8 songs that you chose for this one.
Oh no, we had those. Those were Mark, who plays guitar in that band, had come up with an idea of, hey, we got all these, offers to do records. Why don't we just work on one at a time? So we would do the 8 songs, record it, and then move on to the next batch of songs, record that. Because we weren't playing shows or anything like that. It was a great way to focus on stuff, bang it out quick, and then just keep going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
So we have like 3 other splits that are in process.
Damn, that is so cool. That's awesome. I mean, and that's one thing too. I wanted to dig in a little bit too. As far as like how even before the pandemic, you are just incredibly busy with bands and with playing, and it just seems like there's projects like Dave Witte. It's like holy shit, how does this dude do all this stuff? But I kind of wondered as far as this past year. I'm like, what was he doing then? Because Lord, there's some time to do.
I've always been guilty of having a bunch of pans on the stove at the same time. I guess it's restless, and I just like music too much where I have too much in me where I want to get it out. I like a lot of different styles of music. So, if I can get to do different things all the time, it's a win-win. And it's also really good for cross-pollinating, like the drum fills and ideas and stuff, because something that might not work in one thing works great in another, or vice versa,
Right. And I like to, in my research and listening to the different interviews that you've done too, you've mentioned working with people that, might necessarily, be a better musician, kind of pushing you to that next level. I really like,
totally.
that note and being able to work with different musicians and, kind of hear different aspects or approaches, that's a really cool thing too, for maybe even newer, players.
Yeah, you can always benefit from it. Whoever pushes you to expand your musical knowledge or idea bank, go for it as much as you can, because it's only going to come in handy down the road somewhere.
Yeah, right. Okay. With what can you tell us about working with Joel Moore? Now, was he on the demo or the initial EP or no?
No, Brett Bamberger, the Revocation guy, good old friend of mine. We play in Riverback and Publicist UK together. He did our earlier recordings, and then he stepped away for work, and Joel was around, so we went to working with Joel, and Joel really knocked it out of the park. I'm really happy. I like working with Joel a lot. He's able to capture my drums in a way most people haven't been able to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really cool. It's relaxed, it's chill, and works quick. So I highly recommend Joel.
Now, with different approaches, I mean, as far as different, playing thrash or punk or hardcore, different. Do you have, like an idea or a pitch that you go in telling a producer, like, this is kind of the idea of what I'm wanting my kit to sound like, or my bass, or do you just generally let them kind of do their thing and then, listen back at it?
It goes both ways. I had an idea, sometimes I'll just get in there, bring multiple snare drums, because you never know what the room's going to sound like. Go through them all, see what works the best, and then, usually let whoever's recording it do their thing. Oh, this is cool, but when we, switch around, like working with Arthur for Arthur Rist for the new Waste record was really, really awesome, because he's super talented and was able to pull some sounds that I haven't got before.
Oh shit!
And
nice.
I went with No Bottom Heads for that one, and he was all about it.
Oh really? Okay. What was that something that you'd done before?
No, I've wanted to do it for the longest time, and I brought it up at practice one day. I was like, I'm thinking about doing this, and everybody was cool with it. So, and I told Arthur, I was like, hey, I want to try this out. He's like, totally. Turns out that I was talking to Dave McLean about it from Sacred Reich, because I knew he always does that with no bottoms heads, and he's a big fan of it. So I was asking him about it. Told him I was thinking about doing it myself, and he was like, "Oh yeah, Arthur just did our record," and I'm like, "Oh no shit, how about that?"
Oh, okay.
So he knows exactly what to do. So we did it, and it sounds awesome. I'm really happy with it.
Damn. Okay. Nice.
And
If you
I
go
have
ahead.
I have the trick drums, which are all aluminum. So I think that lended some extra, badassness to it.
Nice. Was this a different kit that you normally use then?
No, this is the one I've been using for a long time. I've
Okay.
for about
Okay.
20 years now.
Nice. Nice. Okay. No, I was just gonna say with the no bottom heads, for live, if you do that, you might have the cymbals that hang down instead of sitting up.
Yeah.
Bring back the 80s.
like Scott Rockenfield.
Yes. Have them hanging down by chains and shit.
Yeah.
Just bring it all the way there.
I remember the first time I saw that, I was so blown away. I was like, man, that's the coolest thing ever. That chain drum rack.
I always wondered how it worked. I'm like, no way, I hope those aren't real chains, because this shit's just flying everywhere back and forth and missing half your fills. So with I wanted to dig in next as far as with Municipal Waste. You'd mentioned you guys are now done recording and everything with that. What was the drum specs with that? Just as far as even drums to start off with. You'd mentioned your trick drums. What all sizes do you have with that?
Trick drums for toms, 10, 12, 14, and 16 floor. And then I only brought one kick to make it easier in there with a double pedal, which is 22 by 16. And then all Peisty cymbals, Extreme 2002 crashes, Rude Novo China and Ride. And then I used the 900 series 15-inch hi-hats, which I really liked a lot. They're a little darker, kind of heavier sounding, and it's not as bright. Real smooth.
Oh, okay. Were these different from another album that you'd used before?
Yeah, I've used different stuff all the time. But
I
always use the Rude Ride. That's my true.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. As far as your snares, you mentioned bringing a couple in. What are generally your go-tos that you bring into the studio to kind of mess with sound?
I brought all tricks, and I brought the Phil Rudd chrome dipped in brass sonar 5 by 14, which sounded nice, but we wound up going with the trick brass 5.5 by 14 solid brass. It weighs about 18.5 pounds.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's serious. You can hear that thing for blocks.
Does it have like any of the vent holes on it, or is it just because of the brass? Like with it being a brass, that it's just louder than shit?
Yeah, it's so loud. It's got the one original vent hole in it, but not the ones on the top like the newer drums have.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we tuned it down a little bit. I wanted to go for a lower tuning, like overall sound. So Arthur helped me with that, and I'm psyched on it.
Okay, nice. With your cymbals, what were the sizes on those? I know you mentioned the Ride being the the Rude.
Rude 20. I used 18, 19, and 20. Crash, 20-inch Novo China, Rude, and then the 20-inch Rude Ride as well.
Okay, nice.
Actually, what? I think I actually used the 900 heavy rock Ride cymbal. I was going back and forth between the two.
Okay. How long have you been with Peisty now?
Over 10 years. They're fantastic. I love them. I've been buying Peisty cymbals for the longest time. And funny thing is my rep, Tim Shahady, I used to buy them from him when he worked at Sam Ash when I lived in New Jersey years ago.
Okay. Damn.
So yeah, it's cool. It's kind of a nice little story turnaround. But
small world.
They treat me really well. I love them, and their cymbals are fantastic.
Yeah, totally. Those Rudes especially. Seeing you playing them, and then you got Matt from Hatebreed, amongst like so many other people. Like those aren't cymbals I've tried before, but always seeing those, I'm like, man, I might be screwing up here.
They're loud. Give them a shot. They sound great.
Yeah, totally. With with your sticks. So what are your go-tos as far as weights and sizes? What do you go with there?
Well, I use the Vic Firth N, Rock N, and the N's for nylon.
Yep. Okay.
And then when you're a Vic artist, you have the luxury of choosing your own weight, which is really nice. So they do light, medium, and heavy, and I go with the mediums. So they're a little bit longer than most sticks, a little bit thicker, and then they got that extra weight on them too. I like big sticks.
Yeah.
That's
and
in my mind, it's less work.
Yeah.
Because you got more weight coming down.
Right. For the longest time, I never understood that, because you go and you play and they're heavier and it's like, oh my God, you're like, feel like you're getting tired. But you get used to that, and you get used to the force and the momentum of it. It's like, okay, maybe this isn't so bad actually.
Yeah, it's like a carpenter with his favorite hammer. Once you get used to that weight, it becomes effortless.
Yeah. Nice. I like that. With your pedals now, what pedals are you using?
I'm using the Trick Pro 1Vs.
Okay. All right.
I've had them for a while now too, and I love them. You can get those things to play like any other pedal out there if you spend the time dialing them in.
Yeah. Okay. Now, had you played other trick pedals for a while, or were these the specific ones that you'd been?
No, that's the first one they put out.
Oh, okay.
Before that, it was all Camco for me.
Oh shit! All right.
Yeah, I had Camcos for the longest time, and then I went to DW. Not was it 5,000 something thousand?
Yeah.
Those kept breaking, so I needed to make some kind of change.
And you were already with Trick, right?
Yeah. And then they came out with the pedal, and I was like, oh, I got to try that.
I guess this was made to be.
Yeah, I love it. They're super great.
Nice.
Indestructible as well.
Oh, okay. I mean, and you mentioned, the Trick drums, as far as the yours being, aluminum. I mean, that's a good feature to have. Shit.
Yeah, those are also indestructible.
Mm-hmm.
I remember telling, because early on, the waste stores, it was super interactive. A lot of people on stage, a lot of people getting on the drums and jumping off them and all this stuff. And I was like, hey, Mike, the owner of Trick, I was like, what's the scoop here? Like, how heavy can a guy be to get on this drum and jump off it? And he's like, oh, it can withstand 350 pounds, and then it'll dent, and then we can just bend it right back.
Damn.
So it's a perfect drum set for that environment, no doubt. And it sounds amazing.
You're like, sign me up.
Yeah.
Dear Lord. What's your preferred footwear? So you're up playing, whether, it's a hot and sweaty ass show, or, it's out in the middle of the winter.
Slip-on Vans all the time.
Nice. Okay.
Practically no sole, real good connection with the footboard. I've worn slip-on Vans I can't even tell you how long.
Nice. I never really even thought of that whole thing. I can't remember necessarily who it was. I feel bad now, but somebody had mentioned, they were like, and shoes is an important thing with playing drums. If you don't think about it, you should, because you slip on the wrong shoes and you might be farting around the whole damn set, like just completely uncomfortable. I'm like,
it's true, but it's a personal thing.
Point.
It's a personal thing too, because look at Pete Sandoval. He was playing with those giant boots with all thick soles and stuff. It's like, how do you do that? They used to come up to his knees and have all these crazy metal hardware on it and stuff, and he was still slaying it.
Yeah, you look like you're going fishing for turtles or something. Like you got waders on and shit.
I never understood that. I remember being watching him in Yokohama in Japan years ago. It was me and Kenny Shock, Candiria. We're watching him, and Pete has that weird swivel technique. It looks like you're putting out a cigarette.
Yeah, right.
And he started doing that, and I remember Kenny going, "Bro, what is that?" We were so blown away. He had these giant boots on. He was just looked like he was putting out a cigarette, but he was annihilating the drum set. Right. It's
like, well, it works, don't it?
Yeah.
Shit. Nice. Now, if I could ask, as far as, with how long with the newest municipal waste, excuse me, how long had you guys been recording and in the studio with this?
Well, for the pandemic, it really lent itself, to us, the opportunity
Okay.
to work on it as a group,
Yeah,
which is
right.
really nice. We were all in there a lot, and we took some time off at the beginning, just like everybody else, and then we slowly started working on it again, and then we were in there in our own little bubble working on it,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and that proved to be very valuable for changes and going over and over and stuff, and what also helped is we were all out on our bikes a lot too, because there wasn't really much
Okay.
going on. And that was a really great way to listen to the demos over and over and figure out what I want to switch and swap out. And, so going back and forth between the two, it was really helpful. So
Okay.
I don't
Nice.
know, did the drums in October, and, most of it was done then. And
Okay.
Tony did the vocals down in Florida, and, pieced them all together. It's finished now. It just
Okay.
he needs the waiting game now with all the pressing plants and all that stuff. Everything's so backed up due to the pandemic, so everyone's schedule is all
Okay.
out of whack.
Now, with you guys having, maybe even more time with working on this as opposed to others, did you find that you may have had some parts, especially with going back and listening to demos, that we've kind of had pieces where you're like, nah, I don't like this. I want to go in and change
Yeah,
this, or did you keep pretty true with early on recordings?
yeah. We dug up an old one that we haven't used that we liked and wasn't really speaking to us back then, but it works now. I guess
Oh,
time
sweet.
did. We were able to change it around to how we really like it, and it turned out really good. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we were able to swap stuff in and out a lot. But
Okay.
most of it's pretty solid. Just like
Sweet.
minor changes here and there.
Okay, nice. Now, if you had the opportunity, if you could pitch the cover art, because I mean, Municipal Waste cover art's always so sick and ripping and gets you ready, for the energy that's about to entail. If you could pitch a cover art, to be based on any horror movie or anything from like a sci-fi movie for this next album, what would you choose?
Well, it's hard to think about that now because the cover's done and it's incredible. First of all,
Oh, well, well, shit.
yeah, I'm really psyched on it. It turned out really well. But I don't know. I was always a crazy Werewolf fan, but I don't really think that would really hold any value with
Yeah, I
the
mean,
new record.
that's even a better answer. So
Yeah,
it's already done, so I don't have to imagine anything. Shit.
yeah.
Nice, nice.
I
Well,
think people will be psyched on it. I am. We all are.
I mean, that's always one of the coolest things. I guess even since being a little kid, myself, visually, I was always drawn to different things and, found so much stuff, may it be movies or music. And, the band is always, paid off as far as when you guys release the cover art. And it's like, oh, I can't wait for this now. Like, this is, going to be so sick. So, yeah,
Yeah,
certainly we're excited for that.
I think people will be excited when they see it.
Sick, nice. That rules. And touching on horror a little bit, we were going to touch a little bit on some of your interests. Digging into earlier memories. Where do you remember horror movies getting introduced to you?
I was, Salem's Lot, and Friday the 13th, and The Howling had an impact on me when I was a kid. That scared me a little bit.
Yeah,
Stuff like that.
totally.
Scott Ruth, the singer of Ripping Corpse, really got a lot of us into horror. We became big Clive Barker fans, and I remember going to movies
Yeah, okay.
with him and some other guys to see Basket Case and Army of Darkness, and then with Nightbreed as well. Yeah, Nightbreed. We went to the movie theater 5 nights in a row to see it because our friend Sam worked at the movie theater and he let us all in.
Damn.
Yeah, so
that.
Yeah, that's a good memory. We had a lot of fun doing that, and it was always funny because by the time we knew everything. We knew where the movie was going to get quiet and all the lines and all that stuff. So we had fun at the movies.
Oh yeah, that's such a fun memory. Like even now for kids that get to still, enjoy, or even like a drive-in theater. If you have a drive-in theater local to you, I mean, that's really cool, innocent
I actually
fun to be
worked
able
at
to
one.
have. Oh,
Actually,
really? No
yeah,
shit. Okay.
I worked at the local drive-in movie theater when I was a kid.
Wow,
We
that's
cleaned up
sweet. Well, I was going to ask. I mean, that's one thing, that I've always thought would be cool working at a theater, but did it end up being like a shit job, or was it pretty cool?
That was fun because it was all our friends and we made our own hours. As long as we were done at a certain time, they didn't care what we did, and we did whatever we wanted. It was great.
Sweet.
It was
Nice.
a lot of fun, and we got to see all the movies for free at night.
Even better. Yeah, that is totally that's totally sweet. That
Yeah,
seems like a good payoff. With
yeah, it was totally cool.
within all the movies all through the years that you've watched, what would you say are three scenes that are just forever ingrained in your brain? Just disgusting, gross, maybe shocking.
Man, the lawnmower scene and oh, why am I blowing it right now?
Dead Alive.
Dead Alive. Dead Alive is probably one of the greatest things ever put on film.
That is absolutely
It,
hilarious and disgusting.
unbelievable. Yeah, it was amazing. And the werewolf transformation in The Howling was
Yes.
all really awesome. The One American Werewolf in London is it's just as good, probably if not better. But
Mm-hmm.
that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, they've been recently talking about trying to remake American Werewolf in London, and I just think that that's one of those things, like the stuff that John Landis did on that, it just doesn't need to be done.
Yeah, I hope they don't blow it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Not,
And
I mean,
the Thing, that's the third one. Like that creature
yes,
on the base. Holy moly, man!
yes, absolutely. Now, so do you remember what was the first horror movie that you saw? You're a little kid. What was the first thing you remember?
Probably either The Howling or Salem's Lot or like Friday the 13th. One of those.
Oof. And who introduced you to this, or who'd you watch it with?
Probably my parents.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, okay. They're like, "Well, if it's too much, just turn around. You're fine."
Yeah, they were pretty
Especially the
cool.
Howling. Holy moly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I watched that with my dad. The
Yeah.
Howling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when going to like a local video shop, I always I like to ask this, with film guests, but yourself being interested in that too. Tell us about when you're coming up your local rental shop. Did you have some certain things with the cover art in movies that really drew your eye?
Yeah, I didn't really go to that many rental spots like that, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
There was a place here called Fan Video in Richmond. When I moved down to Richmond, that was a lot of fun to look around and just pick up wild stuff and bring it home.
Oh,
But
okay.
that wasn't
Okay.
really my thing going to like that. I love going to
Mm-hmm.
the theater. The theater was my jam. Sometimes I
Okay.
sometimes I don't even look up to see what the movie is because I just want to. I love the experience of the big screen and the sound, and being able to just like disconnect from the world from an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I
Now, do you?
love horror movies, science fiction, and especially I love CGI when it's done right. It looks so great on the big screen.
Yeah. Okay. Well, do you guys have a theater right now that's still playing like locally, like even like a mom and pops, or do you have something that stuck around through the whole pandemic?
We have an AMC that just reopened. It's about 4 miles from my house.
Oh, sweet.
I go there. They have a full bar, full restaurant, and all that, and I get to drink Duvals when I'm watching the movie. So
Even
it's my
better.
jam. Yeah,
you're, you're like, boy, could you guys have combined anything better?
it's perfect. It's perfect. It's my favorite escape. A couple Duvals in a movie, and I'm good.
When they first started that locally around us, I'm in Michigan. When they first, started that, it wasn't even something that I was like interested in drinking at the time. But I was just like, man, I can have a beer delivered to my seat, and I'm just sitting here watching a movie. Like, sign me up.
Yeah. The first time I went to a movie theater like that was with Braun Mastodon and Steve Austin from Today's the Day when Braun was in
Oh yeah.
Today's the Day, and Bill was there too. We went to see the X-Files. And people are
Oh, nice.
ordering beers and like yelling at the screen. You hear bottles hitting the ground and rolling around. It was comical. That was my first time at a drinking theater.
Oh, damn. I've never experienced that yet, but I mean, I'm a little surprised by it. You know, somebody doing something stupid, they're throwing the damn bottles or their glasses at the screen and shit.
Yeah, it was like not. It wasn't that extreme, but that would have been even funnier.
Yeah. As long as it's not my theater, shit.
Yeah.
No, I want to ask, with all the years in traveling and all of the places that you've been in and out of country, what is something that you were either gifted or you bought or picked up along the way that is too cherishable to ever get rid of?
I have a lot of that stuff, but just recently, within the last 3 years ago, I found the Ripping Corpse vinyl album in Germany that
Damn.
I had given away to Scott Roof, the singer, because he didn't have a copy of his own record. Because I bought it when it came out, and I was like, "Oh, I got the vinyl." And he's like, "Oh man, I don't even have a copy of that." And I gave it to him. I was like, "You can't not have your own album."
Right.
So I gave it to him, and I've never been able to find it since.
Damn.
And then a couple of years ago in Germany, we were driving by on the way to venue, this record store, and he was in the window, and I waked out. We stayed the night, and I picked it up the next day. So that's a real important record to me, and I'm happy to have it back again.
Totally. Yeah, and what a cool, it is funny that you mentioned that, just as far as you're like, I can't sit here. I'm gonna feel guilty for the rest of my life if I know that I have this and you don't.
Oh, yeah, he was like, not only was he a really fantastic guy, he was a major influence in my musical upbringing.
Sure.
Lyrically, he gave me my first batch of flyers for the tape trading underground fanzines and all that. And his band like totally inspired all of us. His lyrics inspired us to get more into Clive Barker and Lovecraft, and he was a great influence and a really great guy.
Yeah. Wow. So cool. And yeah. What an awesome story too. So yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. That's sweet. And I mean, it's what a better outcome, to be able to found the damn thing again.
I was so psyched to get it back again.
Nice. That's awesome. All right, this is gonna be the wrap up of the interview here, the episode, man. I really, this has been so cool.
Yeah.
I could not have asked for more. I really appreciate your time, and if you want to plug some of your pages or different things going on, this is your opportunity. I do have one finale question though.
1 second. Thank you, Lord Malik, for coming record shopping with me that day. Just saying. See Adam's watching.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So, and you've got the new Municipal Waste. You got the new Under Attack. Is there anything else that might be slipping by that I'm not remembering?
We did that black metal album Phil and I did. It's called Morbicon, and we're still working on that, but I'm really happy about that.
Sick.
And
nice.
I also Frank from Metal Injection invited me to participate in the Next Slay at Home Festival, which happens next Friday. And,
yeah. Okay.
I did a cover song that I'm really psyched on, and with some really amazing people that I was honored to be involved with, and you'll just have to watch and see what it is.
Damn, that is. I don't know how I forgot about mentioning that. So that's this next Friday. What time is it supposed to start?
I'm not sure at the time. Maybe 3:00 or something like that. It's all on their social media. It's Slay at Home Fest.
Yeah. Okay.
You find it on Instagram.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited for that. There's definitely some really cool people participating in some of that stuff.
Yeah,
and,
the list is amazing.
Right. Right. And even with the Bent C project and different projects out there that are doing the collaborative efforts with different bands and things like that. 2020's been like a shit show, but there's been so much cool stuff artistically that's been coming out. And for fans especially, being able to see some of the stuff, there's goods and bads with this whole situation. But this
a lot of creativity came about with it. And I got to do, for 2 minutes of late night, I got to do a King Diamond song with Bronze, so that was pretty incredible.
Oh yeah! Oh my God, that too. Yeah, that was so sick. Did you do any? Did you do two of those, or was it just the one?
Just the one, and then we did a Sean from Child Bite called me up, and I did a cardiac song with him and a great cast of people as well.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to check that one out. I don't think I saw that. I saw the other one, but yeah, that's
The cardiac
awesome.
song's fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I can
Shane,
imagine.
Yeah, Shane Embury from Napalm. He's been a fan for a long, long time, and as soon as Sean called me, I called Shane. I was like, "Hey, you want to get in on this?" And he actually got the actual band members from the Cardiacs involved, so that was a lot of fun.
Oh my God, no way.
Yeah, it was cool.
Shit, that is awesome. Damn, that's so cool. Yeah, so anybody watching, this is going to be edited, and I'll have it on YouTube here in the next couple of weeks, and I'll send you a link. But I'll have different things on my page too, promoting it and letting everybody know. But before we wrap this up, I wanted to ask here. So, do you remember in the '90s the movie Judgment Night?
Oh yeah, what a great soundtrack!
All right, so that's what we're going to touch on, my man. That's what we're going to touch on. So for this finale here, if you had the opportunity,
Helmet, House of Pain.
Yes, that song was so sick. Let me ask you though, as far as if you had the opportunity to work with an artist outside of hardcore or metal to do the drums on, or even sing with, who would you want to work with in like the hip hop rap community? Who would be somebody that you would want to collaborate with?
Czarface.
Oh my God, that'd be so sick.
Huge fan.
Nice. That would be so awesome. Man, I've asked this question a couple of times too, and some of the answers, I hope that there's a movie that someone out, that maybe it's a Scream 17. I don't give a shit, but I hope somebody brings this back, because like those days of like some of the soundtracks that came out with movies, so cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, nice. Dude, what a great answer, and what a great time. Like I say once again, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate the opportunity. Yeah. Well, you take care, my man. Stay safe, stay healthy. Lo-fi horror guy, my dude Dave Witte. See you later, man.
Thanks.
He's a lo-fi horror guy. Yeah, he's kind of a guy, but he is so lo-fi a horror guy. Yeah. Lo-fi horror guy has been recorded in front of a live studio audience.